In an Arts Council of Wales supported project, Bound, I set out to wrap an ancient dead tree in each of the old counties of Wales. Employing cloth, a material we are intimate with, I drew attention to the body, our own and that of the tree, to remind ourselves that we are not separate from nature and to foster a deeper awareness of it. Binding is a human activity, a means by which things are connected, secured, restrained and contained. Modern life lacks ties to place which our forefathers lived by. Our connection to each other or to place is no longer necessarily shared or communal. The temporary binding of a dead tree can be seen as a metaphor for healing, manifesting a connection and continuity through a visual phenomenon, becoming a shared collective memory. I'm an artist based at Spike Island, Bristol, and my practice is site-responsive, concerned with issues related to human relationships to land, nature and place, outlined here against Hesticombe House, Gallery and Garden. I speak of my work through the acronym MOIST, Materials and Object, I, the pull between instinct and intellect in creative practice, sight and time. We live increasingly multi-centred and fragmented lives. Few may know us as a whole. The incomplete self longs for the fragments to be brought back together. In a place such as this, I gather myself. I am increasingly concerned by imposed limitations and encroachment on our wild spaces, the public and geographic, and the private and psychological. In John Fowles' The Tree, he talks about the need to experience as ordinary, natural, untamed spaces. The wilderness of nature untouched by human intentions. This extends to be a point of connection to the greener, more mysterious process of mind. I wandered through undisturbed woodland to Hesticombe Gardens, studying tree stumps, finding interest in the infinite variety of the footprints left at their severed surface. The highly reflective surface of these enamelled sculptural elements allows light to become part of the work. At certain angles, colour appears to be absent, the mirror-like quality of the flat plains creating a sense of a void, the absence of the tree. Attention is given to an overlooked element within a wooded environment, that of dead and dying trees and their importance in forest ecology. The industrial palette and material draw attention to humankind's cultivation of nature. I learn through making. Acquiring new skills learnt from others, I make a connection to our cultural heritage, and in a fast-changing world raise questions of value and worth in materials and their use. Trace was made at one of the last enamelling factories in the UK. It's important to me to work closely with those I collaborate with when fabricating, and I seek opportunity to work with specialists in fields of activity that are under threat. I'm deeply conscious of the threat to our cultural heritage, of the loss of such skills and material knowledge. Taking hundreds of photographs of tree stumps and cut wood, I slowly made connection, stitching myself to place through time spent. It reminded me how I came to know places when I was a child, born from freedom to roam and be. And learning is a drive, materials are pure joy. Sight informs my material choice, and work pivots on material exploration and a positioning of elements to assist an understanding of sight, a reactivation of space. Work is often done in shifts. In its making, shift embodies this, taking and treating firewood from the estate to the same care a piece of fine domestic furniture would have been shown through the act of French polishing. Preparing the stump surface, sanding it back and polishing took many hours. I entered an almost meditative state, working in a repetitive circular motion with simple elements, in a time-honoured tradition, creating an object somewhere between its raw state and a sculpture. A commission for the exhibition opened up at Hesticombe House after our first lockdown. Stack 2020 draws attention to labour and care within Hesticombe's grounds. The ends of a large stack of logs are coloured using forestry tree marker spray paint. They draw attention to activities, language and devices used in land management. The invitation to create work for this exhibition was in itself an opening up, affording me the chance to be freer in my practice. I end with a question taken from writer Gretel Ehrlich that holds me as I make new work. If you don't understand where you are and be in some active relation to it, then that is neglect.